I am in my classroom and I'm going to finally start setting up. I came in last week and moved things out of my old classroom. My coworkers helped me with that. But today I'm going to start beginning the zones. If you're new to my channel and you don't know me, my name's Natalie Priester and I teach middle school English. I teach English learners. I use Read 180, and last year I was really committed to station rotation, but this year I'm going to up it with a little bit of flex model and more time for like kids to sit and do reading on their own. I am planning all of my work with not on like what's pretty, but my goal is to design my room about like research-based things for what's really going to help my students learn. I'm not one of those like really fancy teachers. I'm also a mom, so I don't have all the time in the world to make my room look like some cluttered explosion. Besides, those things don't like lead to real learning. No offense if you like those, but it doesn't. So I'm going to share with you my journey of setting this room up to be a place that's designed for kids. Oh, my class sizes range from about 20, 24 kids all the way up to I have one class of 50 that I have to fit in this room also for an elective I teach. So I will slowly take you with me as I get it set up. When I was a younger teacher, I would go in my room and look at the furniture in the space and be like, how can I make this look really just nice and welcoming and set it up so we have some collaboration? But now I know that just collaboration isn't enough and just making small groups isn't enough. And if I just go from like, okay, I don't have rows and that's good, but then I'm like, oh, I put them in groups. But if that's not like intentional, there's no point to just put them in groups. Like, I'm not gonna keep those rows, but I need to be more purposeful. So this year, instead, what I'm doing is I'm setting up my class where we're starting with independent time. So the kids will be doing some reading and some journaling. Then we're going to do a whole group lesson or do our daily circle. After that, I'm going to put them into, a third of them will be with me in a small group. I think it's gonna be over there, a small group. And the other kids will be working independently on their computers using their Read 180 software or doing a different activity. So I have to set up the class so that I have all of those different areas available, and that's the space I need. I also need a space for some supplies. I have my classroom library and I have the books that come with the Read 180 System 44 that I need to get plugged in. I also have some technology to deal with, like headphones for the kids to check out, but I don't have that many supplies. Oh, and the kids have workbooks too, and journals. I guess I do have a lot of supplies, but I don't set out a lot of little things because it's middle school, and if you set out a bunch of office supplies, oh, little sticky fingers are way too tempted because they love to play with those. I don't know about this giant teacher desk that comes with my room. I went without a desk for quite a few years when I taught high school, but we were a paperless school, so I didn't have to worry about workbooks or anything to collect or look at. I might be giving up that desk. I mentioned earlier that I start my class with a daily circle. I'm going to do that in this class also, but I got this cool name for my student groupings. Naomi teaches like a rock star. She's the one who actually mentioned it on Instagram, and I'd never heard this wording before, but I loved it. I loved it even more when I found out that David Thornburg, who's like an ed tech education visionary type person, that he came up with it. So here's the idea. It's phenomenal. So we're going to have a campfire. That's where my proactive circle will be. My class meetings will take place there. I'm going to have watering holes for small group work, small group instruction, or collaborative work. And I'm going to make some caves for my introverts and kids just to sit and focus. So today I'm going to set up all of those. I'm going to make this corner one of my watering holes, but it's going to be my watering hole also for my teacher stuff, because from here I can see that door and I can see that door, and I'll have a full view of the room. I always think it's good to set up small groups somewhere where you have a good view of the room. I'm gonna use that little desk as like my teacher storage stuff. This might help me to get rid of my actual desk. Like if I keep my stuff in there and then I put my supplies up there, it'll stay away from the kids. And that awkwardly shaped cabinet fits nicely there. I think I need to move it out some. It's not all gonna fit there. That works. So if I make that my teacher zone and I get away from having the desk, by the way, I just collect crap on my desk, like so much junk, watch. And if I see this beast of a desk, no teacher needs that much space. But if I take this and I flip it around, I think it'll fit in this corner. Then hear me out, okay? This creates a real cave. I could throw some pillows under there. It's like a reading zone. And then maybe the kids can even sit on top of the desk and sit and read. Like, I want flexible seating, but I'm not gonna go spend a ton of my own money. And the district was kind of like, not really into it. So I think I can make this work. Look at how much bigger the room looks now. That thing's a monster, but I was gonna get rid of it, but I think that that's a much better use. I made a literal cave, people. I just dragged this bookshelf right here. Now, this might look weird, but okay, watch. This is what I did in my high school room too. So I made a nook, like a reading nook for introverts, and it's not an obstructed view space because if I'm sitting right here doing my small group, I can still see like except like the smallest little bit over there, I can still see over there. So that's supervised. I don't only let kids sit there that I can trust, but then kids on each side have a little nook where they feel like they're private. I also am putting this table fits perfectly in the doorway, not in the doorway. There's like a little where the wall goes in right here, and this table fits there perfect. I've learned it's easier if my kids like get their supplies out and they leave their backpacks against the wall with their phones in it, and they just take out what they need for the day. Oh God, don't get me going on the phones thing. Not about taking away the phones, but sometimes in class we need them and sometimes we don't. If we are doing silent reading, we don't need them. If we're doing group work, we need them. So also middle schoolers aren't always like able to have the self-control to resist that temptation of the social pulls of the phone. Anyway, this could be another video. But my kids get to leave their phones in their bags unless it's an appropriate time in class to take them out. So they leave their stuff up here, and I'm gonna make a little like not like a cubby, but like an area to keep their bags, and then they can come in and drop their stuff here. Maybe I'll get buckets for it or something, and then I'll put their workbooks and their journals and everything they need right here. My constant struggle has been to keep that area organized since teaching middle school, so I'm gonna do some homework to figure out a better way to make that less messy. I'm trying to set up an area for direct instruction. I don't want rows, but I know that when I'm doing the Read 180 curriculum, the kids need to be sitting, looking at the screen, and they need to be able to have partner talks during that instruction time. So I'm attempting to set up some groups of partners right here. I don't know how many I can fit in here. Maybe if I was better at math, I'd be better at this, but I'm gonna try to throw some down here and see if I can make a like close-knit whole group focus area by the screen up here. This way I can have two campfires. I can have one that's like stadium seating campfire up there, like at a summer camp. And then I can have one in the back that's like our primal, like we sit and talk campfire in this corner. In high school, my campfire was a corner of the room, and that was our favorite place. And then this can be used for like a comfy zone for independent reading too. Okay, it's been an hour and a half. I am ready to head home. I have accomplished my goal of setting up my caves, watering holes, and campfires. So I have two campfires. One is this front space in the beginning of a room, front of the room, for when they need whole group as like a home-based desk for them. My second one will be that back corner. Remember I said I was going to turn the, this will be my circle where the kids will sit on the floor. Right now the excess desks are here. And then my watering holes, I have a small group circle right there. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this table, but putting it in the middle of the room looked awkward, but my kids always need a place when they're working on posters, like, because the desks aren't big enough. So I want to keep those in the, like, the workroom. There's these tall desks. I'm trying to convince somebody to let me use them, but I still don't know where I'm gonna put them, but they're kind of like standing desk height. And then my caves are going to be the little nooks where the kids can sit kind of on either side of the little bookshelves. See, there's another one right there. I'm decided I'm gonna try having no teacher desk. I'm gonna stick with that. And then I have a little cave here. One concern is that I can't see inside that cave if I'm in small group, so I might move that over there. Other benefit of that would be when I'm having my circle, my kids are facing away from the window because the lunch area is outside and that could be distracting. So I might shift that whole desk. Then I have to deal with the phone, but I can do that. So pretty much okay with it today. I'm pretty proud. That's not bad for an hour and a half, right? I think it's a pretty good deal.